everybody, welcome to the Gen X Muse YouTube channel. Today, if you're a classical music person, and I hope you are, if you're just a music person and you're here for everything, that's great too. This is, I'm going to show you now, my collection of Hilary Hahn on vinyl. Hilary Hahn, as you know, is a world-class violinist, and she does mostly symphonic music written by famous composers, sometimes written by modern composers. Sometimes it's music commissioned for her. But this is a really special person. I love her music. I've been going to see her in concert for about 20 years or more. 20 years, a little bit over 20 years, actually. And been checking out her music. She's fabulous. I have a bunch of stuff of hers. I just have the vinyl here. I don't have any of the digital stuff, or like the CDs. Basically, I don't have those. There's a few DVDs I have though, and I guess I'll save that for the other video where I bring out the CDs. This is just the vinyl stuff, and I'm gonna try to show this to you in the order that they came out. Now, essentially, I might as well show this first, even though this is technically something that came out just a little bit later. This is her Bach Concertos album. This is something that originally came out in 2003 on CD on Deutsche Grammophon. Deutsche Grammophon, of course, the label that she's on now. She originally was on Sony. And she'd been putting out music for several years, and then she ended up jumping from Sony to Deutsche Grammophon. And this originally was a CD-only release, and later on, when they released the second of her Bach albums, her Bach Sonatas and Partitas album, this came out at roughly around the same time, almost totally in conjunction with that. And this was welcome to see because she hasn't put out any of the earlier releases yet on vinyl. I would hope she's still trying to work on a deal for that, because it would be really nice to get the original Bach album. The one with the sonatas and the partitas, her very first. Oh my god, she was only, I think, 17 when she made that album. It's hard to imagine now. I mean, because now she's like, I think like 40. What is it? Okay, she was born in 79, so she's 46 already. Wow, can't believe it. She's fabulous, though. Right now, I have to say, while we're talking about her, she's recovering from an injury that she sustained, I think, about a year or so ago, or maybe like a year and a half ago. She's still not completely healed from it, so send your prayers out to Hilary, please. She deserves to heal. She deserves to do the things that she likes. She's a mother of two, by the way. Also, she's married. But anyway, this is a great collection. If you love concertante music, especially if it's like Baroque music for violin and orchestra, this is fabulous. This is a great performance. I've actually seen her play a couple of these in concert. And this one is actually the first release that she had on vinyl, Silfra, which is actually a collab, and it's decidedly not a classical album. She did a kind of a semi... if you will, experimental recording with this person, Hauschka. Basically, what he does is like sort of indie experimental music on prepared piano. I think what he does is kind of inspired by John Cage, but it's a little bit more... it's a little bit more in the vein of the person, I think, that actually produced this, Valgeir Sigurdsson, who... is an Icelandic producer and worked with other people of interest like Sigur Rós and other artists of that nature. And that they did this together in Iceland, and it was very interesting recording. I actually wrote a really good review for this album in my original blog, The Glass. You know, and that was back in 2012. If I can find that, I'll link it on this video so you can read it. But yeah, because I was a decent reviewer, I think. You know, I don't really write anymore, but when I did that, I was like, you know, not employed, so I had time for it. This is what the record looks like, and of course it has a custom label on it. Really nice. This was gifted to me, by the way. This was not an acquisition that I went and got. This is really nice, though. This is a fabulous collection. As you can see, it's a little damaged on the side there. Probably a good idea to keep this on the outside in here. This next album is a huge event for her. She actually commissioned 27 encores for her concert performances. I think probably because she thought that it would be nice to get some new artists and you know, get money for them and stuff, and you know, kind of just bring new music out to the public. And for somebody like her to do that, that's a fabulous feat. And this is the 27 Pieces album. This originally came out on CD and on digital, you know, download and streaming and all that stuff. And this is actually 27 standalone pieces for violin and piano. And this is all really, really good stuff. And these are a lot of these are people whose music she had been doing, like Jennifer Higdon. Jennifer had commissioned a violin concerto, or actually I think Hilary commissioned it. I don't remember now. All I know is that Hilary was the premier musician for that piece. But anyway, Jennifer Higdon's piece Echo Dash is on this, and a whole bunch of other people. Somei Sato, Du Yun, David Lang, you know, Bang on the Can. David Lang has a piece called Light Moving. It's really good. I love it. It's one of my favorites. Max Richter's Mercy. Oh my God, heartbreaking piece. It's like the very end of this thing. Mark Anthony Turnage, Hilary's Hoedown. Jeff Myers, The Angry Birds of Kauai. I remember there was like a contest for like a composer that hadn't been commissioned to have a new piece that was going to be put on here. Jeff won the contest, and I actually interviewed him for The Glass Show, my first podcast. And also, what's interesting is David Del Tredici is on here. He's somebody that's been around for quite a while. Nico Muhly, James Newton Howard. James Newton Howard, of course, the composer of the score for The Village. Hilary was the solo violinist on that soundtrack. I have that album too. I don't have it on vinyl though, because I don't think it exists on vinyl. But yeah, he's one of the featured artists on here. So it's a fabulous collection. And it's a wonderful listen, and they finally released this on vinyl, I think in 2016, if I'm not mistaken. But originally it came out in 2013. It's a double album. It's fabulous, and I love it. And this is Hilary Hahn Retrospective, a signed copy right here. This is where she signed it. And on this album, this is a 2-record set. The first disc, by the way, is taken from a concert that she did. Corey Smythe is the soloist, by the way. Corey Smythe is another wonderful soloist and composer, and I actually have met Corey several times, and I even interviewed him for The Glass, which is my music blog that I used to do. And they did a whole concert that some of it was actually put on this collection, and they did a direct-to-disc transfer, which is kind of an interesting process. I wish I knew more about it, but they actually just kind of took it straight from the recording of the concert to this. I don't know if it was a digital recording, but the results of that are quite interesting, and they actually just put the entire well, at least the entire Mozart sonata that she did, the G major one. They put that on side one of this first disc, and the second side is Hilary's Hoedown by Mark Anthony Turnage and Max Richter's Mercy. Really, really, really good. And the rest of this is just stuff from like the various Deutsche Grammophon releases, I think. Some more stuff from the encores, but yeah, there's the first movement of the Violin Concerto by Schoenberg. There was a CD release of this too, and it's got a completely different lineup, so that it's like two different versions of the retrospective. But I think I have that on CD somewhere, but that's the vinyl copy. This is Hilary Hahn Plays Bach. This is, of course, the second version of or the second album of the Bach pieces. She'd been asked about this forever, because she did her first album was the Bach Sonatas and Partitas, or it had the same title as this, and it was on Sony, and she did Partita number 2, Partita number 3, and then Sonata number 3, I think, on there too. On this one, it's Sonatas number 1 and 2 and Partita number 1. All right, that's what she did. Okay. So basically, that was a great collection. This was just what was left over from that she didn't do on that album. And if you put the two together, it's the complete Sonatas and Partitas. But she didn't do a vinyl release of that. I don't know if we're ever going to get that. I don't know if maybe somehow she's trying to work out a deal where she can release those on vinyl, but it might not be up to her, though, because I don't know how much ownership she has of those recordings, but I love that we have this, at least. It doesn't sound great on vinyl, sadly. I don't think they were able to do a transfer that works for digital. Sadly, they should have tried to do something, but it's like a DDD across the board. If they had used an analog component, perhaps they would have been able to make it sound wonderful. And what else is kind of interesting is that a few of these albums are on Decca. The rest of them are on Deutsche Grammophon, so I find that kind of interesting. I don't know if that means anything, because I think they're just different arms of the same company. I think it's all run by Universal Music. So I don't know. I don't really know if it even matters, but yeah, the last one I showed you and this one are both on Decca, and the rest of them are on Deutsche Grammophon. But this one is 6 Partitas by Anton Garcia Abril. This is all solo violin. And this is Heart, Immensity, Love, Art, Reflective, and You are the names of the 6 pieces on here. So it's standalone. It's one album. It's all right. I don't remember coming back to this very often. It's a gorgeous cover, though. It's kind of nice to have, I don't know if she even released that one on a CD. I think maybe this was a vinyl only. Before I show you that one, let me show you this. There were a couple of sets that were released as box sets, because I think that I don't know if this was done as a way to get every market involved. Maybe it was, I guess, in some ways, but box set for this one and the following one. This one is called Paris, and I guess Paris, France is the significance of the pieces that were selected for this. She's working with the Orchestre Philharmonique de Radio France, Miko Franck, of course, the conductor. And she did Chausson, Prokofiev, and Radovara. Anyway, Hilary Hahn's Paris album, beautiful cover, beautiful back cover. This is what the middle looks like, and the gatefolds. There you go. This is so nice. And this is Concerto for Violin and Orchestra No. 1 D Major, Opus 19 by Sergei Prokofiev. She did do the second one, too, at some point, but not on record. She has played it in concert, though, as far as I know. And second disc is the Chanson Poème, Opus 25, and the Radovara du Serenades. And I think those are also concertante pieces, but here we go. This is a really good collection. This also has some prints that maybe you should take a look at here. This one is autographed. It's really, really cool. And this one's just the cover. But, hey. I think that's also on the inside cover of that picture. But there you go. That's a really nice gift that comes in this. And I think it's also got the CD, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's on the inside of this. Yes, it is. There it is. It's the CD. It's nice. You get to have the best of both worlds with that collection. And this box set is called Eclipse. And what I love about this is this has that classic banner that they used to have on Deutsche Grammophon albums for many, many decades. That's so awesome. This takes me back to my youth. I love it. It's so nice. And this has the this actually has stuff that we've heard her play. At least one of these pieces, the Dvorak Violin Concerto. And this is what the album looks like when you take it out. And of course, that's the back cover. That's got a fabulous inside cover. And of course, this is Violin Concerto in A minor, Opus 53 by Dvorak, the Sarasate Carmen Fantasy, based on, of course, Carmen the opera, by Bizet. This is the Alberto Ginastero Violin Concerto, Opus 30, on the second disc. So, some more concert music. I love when she does concert music. That's great too. I love her music in general. And of course, here's another wonderful print that she signed. And here's a piece of sheet music. And postcards. Oops, I am holding them upside down. Silhouette, lovely silhouette, and that's a fabulous picture too. I think that's an alternate version of the cover. That's an alternate version of that session. So there you go. This is, and I'm guessing that the QR code might be a code for a download of the album. I'm not sure. They don't really do downloads anymore. You know, I don't know if they're doing that anymore. I think that is now a dead format, downloads. And this is the most recent of the releases on vinyl.
I've actually seen her play these
sonatas for violin, Opus 27. This is a fabulous collection. I love that action shot on the back. Izai, of course, a Belgian composer, and his 6 sonatas are basically another repertoire that violinists love. And I don't know which ones are considered like the biggest ones, but some of these have actually been, I think, commissioned by different by different soloists: Szigeti, Jacques Thibault, Georges Enescu, Fritz Kreisler, Matthew Crickboom. Okay. So there's a sonata number 6 at the end here. It's interesting because the 5th sonata is only 2 movements and the 6th one's only 1. It's really fabulous. But this is a great collection also. Oh, I'm sorry. I have actually seen her perform one of these in concert. When we went to see her at the Troy Savings Bank Music Hall. Troy Savings Bank Music Hall, she did this really nice recital. And she was barefoot during the entire recital. And I think at the end when we did this thing where she had a Q&A, or no, it wasn't a Q&A, it was a meet and greet. And I said, I love the shoes you had on today. And she goes, oh, thank you. And then she laughed because she knew that I knew that she was barefoot. And basically she said the reason she took the shoes off was because she was like making holes in the dress. The dress, by the way, I don't know if anybody remembers, she did this really cool concert in Rome, I think. And it was televised, and it was actually a concert that honored the Pope. It was Pope Benedict. Remember that guy? The guy that stepped down? You know, he's the only Pope that has ever stepped down. Usually you have to die to not be the Pope anymore. This guy just kind of stepped down. Nobody seems to know why, but he did. He stepped down. But in any event, he's the one that she did a concert for, and I think she played she did one of Mozart's violin concertos. It might have been like his third or something. So anyway, that was fabulous, but she wore that dress at that concert, so I recognized it from the Pope concert. That's something about me, is that sometimes I will remember dresses more than I remember, like, you know, the pieces that were played or something, you know. In any event, though, those are my Hilary Hahn records. At some point we'll do the CDs, okay? And the other digital releases that I have. But that's more stuff. And stay tuned. There's going to be more stuff on the channel. There's going to be more stuff on the podcast coming up. So please hang in there, and I love you guys. And I will talk to you soon. Bye! Thank you! Thank you so much. Okay. Lift the hair up a little bit. We need a curling iron. You know, we really do. Okay. Hi, everybody. Stop. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Gen X Muse YouTube channel. The Gen X Muse YouTube channel. Yes. Hi everybody, welcome to the YouTube channel of the Gen X Muse. Nico Frank, of course, the conductor. And she did Chanson, Prokofiev, and Radovara. Basically, the Prokofiev is the concerto, the violin concerto #1. Oh, by the way, the fucking fly that's in here just made a cameo appearance. Thank you. I hate flies. I really do. Flies are the bane of my existence. I just thought I would share that with you all. In any event, I don't know if that's an indication that I'm dead. I don't know. You know, like, why am I attracting flies? I showered this morning. God, I love those earrings, Hilary. I really do. God, she's got such lovely earrings. Anytime you see her in earrings. Oh, wait, hold on. We forgot. Forgot the postcards. In any event, oh, excuse me. Ugh. In any event, I've actually seen her play these. Oh, I'm sorry. At some point, we'll do CDs. Fuck you, fly. Fuck you. Fuck you. The Gen X Muse.